Hi all, welcome to forceGalaxy. Hope you are doing good. So today in this video, I'm sharing one interview in which development questions are asked. Okay, so these are the basic one and mostly related to the definitions only. Okay, so this interview can be helpful for those who are fresher with the development knowledge also. Okay, or the 1+ year Salesforce experience. So let's start with the video, and if you have any questions or any query, do let me know in the comment section. Thank you.
Okay. Can you tell me about the life cycle hooks we have in LWC?
Yeah. Firstly, component is created. There are seven methods of life cycle. In life cycle of LFC component, that is constructor, connected, callback, renderer callback, and disconnected callback, and error callback. Firstly, when the component is created, it is in constructor, and then it goes to DOM, that is in connected callback. It calls all parent parent properties, and after that it goes to then it renders to UI, means in render it renders on UI. So after that it goes to renderer callback. All the child, what you say, child properties also, it calls from parent, child to parent also. And in connected callback it's a call parent to child. Then it goes down if some error is occur there. It then disconnected callback. All the DOMs is disconnected. And after that it goes to error callback. If a is error occur, it goes to error callback.
Okay. Okay, let's suppose there is a component A which is parent and there is a component B which is child. Okay. So in this case, okay, as soon as component A comes in DOM, inside under the DOM, so which connected callback will be going to call first? It will be of child or it will be of parent?
It will be parent.
Parent. Okay.
Because
yeah. And in case of disconnected callback?
It goes from child to parent. So first it called child.
Okay. Okay. So as you know, our render callback call it itself multiple times, right? So is there any option we can avoid this? Like suppose I want to execute a logic which I need to write inside render callback, but this logic should be run only one time. So how we can avoid this and our render callback runs multiple times?
Actually, I don't have idea.
Okay. So there, we can avoid this similarly as we used to do in avoiding the recursion of triggers, right? Either we can go with any boolean variable. Okay?
Boolean variable.
Yeah, yes, correct. Yes. And we can check for the value. If it is always, if it is run one time, then we can check for the value if it is false or true. Okay. Or if you don't want to go with this boolean variable, then there is a standard function variable is there, is rendered. Okay. So is rendered is already provided from the Salesforce, which we can check using which we can check the value if it is false or true. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So there is again child and parent components are there. Now I want to pass a value from child to parent. How we can achieve this?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Now.
Yeah. So I was saying, let's suppose again we have two components, component A and B. Okay.
Yes.
A is parent, B is child. Now I want to pass a value from component B to A. That is from child to parent. How we can achieve this?
So we can achieve it by custom event. We can create custom event and it values passed to B to A. Means a child to parent.
Okay. What type of values we can pass in the this custom event?
What types of values?
Can I pass the list of S objects? Can I pass the object like account?
No. We objects here.
Primitive data types like string and integers and all.
Yeah, we can pass.
Okay.
Primitive data types.
And what is the use of API decorator?
API is public property. It is used to expose or make it public.
To make it public.
Yeah, and we can call. We can use an API annotation for parent to child communication.
Okay, if you want to
or
transfer
if you want
value,
to pass any data.
Yeah, correct. Okay. Okay, now can you tell me the best practices to write a trigger?
Yeah, it should one object and avoid hardcode IDs in a trigger, and then trigger should be bulky file because and it and trigger use context variable in triggers and avoid looping DML in looping means in loops avoid always DML. So because of Salesforce is a multi-tenant architecture, so it will hit the kernel limits. So and yeah.
Okay, so you said first point that we should always create one trigger per object, right?
Yeah.
So why so?
Because if two triggers are if there are two triggers on same objects, we are not sure that which is triggering first.
Will going to execute first, right? The execution order cannot be determined.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the main reason why should we go with one trigger per object.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the difference between trigger.new and trigger.new map?
In trigger.new, it returns all
new values. Okay. So
new values, and trigger.new map is returns new versions of IDs.
Okay. So you can explain it like this. Like suppose we need to we are creating or updating any record. Okay. So in this case, whatever the new values we are writing or uploading, these are comes under the trigger.new. Okay.
Yeah.
And if we require the IDs also of these records, then we will move to map, in which we will get the IDs also of this new list. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is how you can explain this. Yeah. So in case of before insert, do we have the IDs of record?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I'm asking in before insert.
Yeah.
Do we have value in new map?
No, we can't.
Why?
Because it is not inserted in database that values, so we can't predict that.
Okay.
It's knowledge.
Okay. So when to use before trigger and when to use after?
Before is used when we want to save, means data is saved into database, means we have to perform action before any database data is going to database, and after is when any commit performing database.
Can you tell me any example?
If you want to count the active accounts or any active so that in that case we can go with after, because we have to just count that which records is active, which accounts are active or not, and before if you want to do any
it can be as simple as you can explain, like before triggers we go when we want to update on a same object, okay, or when we want to perform any automation on the same object, right?
Okay.
And if we want to get the values of related object or IDs of related one, then we need to move with after triggers. Okay, if you want to perform any automations on related objects. So have you ever faced the error read only? Okay, so this error we usually faced in after events or in after triggers. Okay, so this is the common error which we usually faced in this after triggers only. What happens when we try to update any instance of any object? Okay, so it will give us the read only error on the trigger.new list. Okay, why so? Because the data which is coming in trigger.new list is read only. We cannot edit it. Okay, we cannot perform any updation and all. So we need to create new instance and then assign the ID to this new instance and then perform the updation. Okay, so you can just search out once what is the read-only error, and you will get the resolution also and what is
Yes.
it is. Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
And what is the null pointer exception?
Null pointer exception is when if there is no any data or any value there, so that time we got this error.
Okay, what we should keep in mind so we can avoid these type of errors?
We have to always check that there is not equal to null.
Okay, yeah. Is it empty, list has value or not, where whatever the query we have done, is there any value or not, then we should assign or update it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you know about asynchronous effects?
Yeah, when we are dealing with a large amount of data, so that time we are using asynchronous apex, batch apex. So there are three methods in that. We can firstly we can process up to 50 million data with the batch apex, and there are three methods in batch apex: start, execute, and finish. It implements the batchable interface.
Can you tell me about the batch effects when we use this, and what are the different methods we have? What are the functions of all three different methods, or what is the use of these methods?
Yeah, when we are dealing with the large amount of data, that time we use batch apex, and there are three methods: start, execute, and finish. This is asynchronous apex. So
what are the three different methods? Okay, you tell what about this execute method? What we used to do in this execute method?
In the execute method, main logic is there
that we used to perform over the list which we have query out in the start method. Okay.
Yes. Okay. And in finish, we have all the post processing with.
Correct. Post processing, like if you want to send email notification or anything. Yeah. Okay, now let's suppose I want to call next batch apex from first batch. How we can do this? So I want to call one batch from another batch. Okay.
Yeah, we can from finish method.
From finish method. Okay. Why not from execute?
No, because execute method is runs again and again, so we can't do with execute.
Okay, it will going to exceed the limit.
Yeah, it exceeds the limit.
Okay. Can you tell me the difference between future method and queuable apex?
Yeah, both are for asynchronous processes, but in queuable we can get ID of current job, which job is running, and in future we can call future from batch or trigger or.
So in future method, what type of data types we passed as a parameter?
List of object.
Okay, so list of object. If I say no, we cannot. Okay, so the here primitive data types are passed. Okay, like string, integer, okay, decimal and all. These type of primitive data types are passed. And why we not pass non-primitive data type like subjects and list of subject? Because future methods run asynchronously. Okay, we don't know the execution time and when it will going to complete. Okay, so in between of this duration, it might be possible that the subject values, that is the record value, might get changed. Okay, someone can from the UI change the record values and all. So what happens if we pass data type like list of object and all? It will process the logic over the previous values and not on the new values which are updated from the UI and all. Okay, so it is always we are used to pass primitive one only. What we do, we will convert the list of subject to the string. Okay, we used to serialize it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this serialized string is passed as a object, this list of as a parameter, and then we will deserialize this and get the values.
Yes.
Can we call future from another future method?
No, we can't. We cannot.
Okay. So have you heard about mixed DML error?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
When we are having a transaction in one transaction, if we are having a setup a non-setup object, so that time the mixed DML error is coming, and for this we can use system.run as or a future method for avoid this error.
Okay. What are setup and non-setup objects?
Setup object is our standard objects, and non-setup which is used for our business needs that we created for them. This is right or wrong?
No, this is
I'm
wrong.
not sure. Okay.
Yeah. So you told me like standard and custom object we used to have. No, these are the setup and non-setup. Okay, non-setups comes, it can be standard or custom, and the setup ones are the one whose values like users. Okay, last. Okay, so have you worked on test classes?
Yes.
Okay, so there we used to add test.start test and test.stop test. So what are the use of these functions?
It is using for limits. Yeah, it assign the new new set of governor limits for that, which is we are declaring test.stop and start.
Okay. And why we use test setup?
Test setup is used for it is like a bulky file, means we can take data whichever we want and or needed for the.
Okay, so instead of creating the data for different objects and use them in different functions, so it is better to create a test setup and add all the values of like I required account and contact, so I can add one time and then use the same values in different functions of test class, right?
Right.
So this is something like reusable, of course. Okay. Okay, can you tell me the difference between SOSL and SOQL?
Yeah, both are for the query for selecting. But in SOQL we are performing for the DML for the SOQL for all objects. In SOSL for both are for the selecting, but in SOQL we can select all. But in SOSL we cannot select all. We are searching for only one object, and it returns the primitive data types and type like time, email, phone, and in SOQL it returns the list of list of values, name, string, and all. And
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Can you explain me the security model in Salesforce?
Yeah. In security model of Salesforce, most restrictive is OWD. So it is baseline, most restrictive baseline.
You explain me the complete model. Like we have object level security, then we have field level security, and then we comes to record level. Okay, so can you just tell me what we have in object level and by how we will utilize them? So just try to explain me from here.
Yeah. Yeah. For
so there are a lot of confusion in this. So shall I explain you this once? Hello, can
yes,
you
yes.
hear me? Okay, so let's start with the object level security. Here we have
yes.
Yeah, here we have two options. One is profile. Okay, this is the restricted or the base level of this object level securities. Okay, then we comes to permission sets. Okay, These are the only two options from where we can handle this object level security. Okay. And the profile can be assigned one to user. Okay. And permission sets can be assigned more than one or one. Okay. But profile can only be assigned one to a single user. Okay. If we want to enhance the level, or if we want to enhance the permission, then we move to permission set, else we will work with profiles only. Okay. So here using object, only these two options we have. Now next come to field level security. Here we can control this field level security from object profile also. Okay. From permission sets also. Okay. Then from the field, then we used to create the field, from there we can control it. Okay. And then from the page layout also. Okay. Now next we will come to this record level security. When we talk about the records, then we have multiple options. Here the base level or the most restrictive one permission which we used to give is on OWD. Okay. Using OWD we used to give the baseline securities. Okay. Now like suppose on the OWD I have provided the private security. Okay. Now only the user who is the owner can only see, none other can not see the records of this user. Okay. Now I want to enhance it, then we will move to roles. Okay. And now more, if I want to enhance it, I want to provide more permission, then we will move to sharing rules. Okay. And if I want to enhance it, then we will move to manual sharing button. Okay. So here in the record level security, there no permission set, no profiles. Okay. Yeah. So this is how you can explain this. What are the different ways in which we can share the record using sharing rules?
By manual sharing?
No. What are the different ways in which we can share the record using sharing rules? Okay, using sharing rules also there are the two ways in which we can share the record.
By owner base and criteria.
Yes, correct. Okay, so can we also share a record to single user using this sharing rules?
Yes, we can.
No, we cannot. We need to create a public group or something. Single user, we cannot assign any record. Okay, or we cannot share. If you want to share any record to single user, then first we need to add him to any group. Okay, he can be the one only in this group, and then only we can share the record. Okay.
With sharing and without sharing, can you explain it? Sure.
Okay, so as by default our Apex classes run in system mode. Okay. System mode means that the this whatever is the current user, it will not going to check for the permissions and all, whether he has the permission of this object which is used in the Apex class, or whether he has the permission of this field which is used in Apex class. Okay, it will run in system mode with full permission. Okay, so now by default this is without sharing is working my classes, but I want to run this Apex trigger or Apex class within the user mode, that is with the if the user is having current user who is login in Salesforce is having the permission, then only this trigger will run for this person or this automation. So for this we will use the with sharing. Okay, with sharing now going to check for the permissions of records, that is the record level permission. It will going to check OWD, role hierarchy, manual sharing rules and all, whether this user has permission of this record which is I am updating using this trigger. Okay, so if he has the permission, then the trigger will going to update that things, or the Apex class will going to run. If he is not having the permission of this particular object, then it will not going to run the automation. So we normally use this with sharing to run our Apex classes and triggers in user mode.
And default is without sharing.
Yes, default it is without sharing. That is run in system mode.